Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Madden Gaming and I am back with another reaction video. In today's video I will be reacting to, and make sure I get the title right, these 5 things just changed Madden 23. I do not got the game yet, but hopefully I'll be getting it soon and post some content on it. This is a 10-minute video, so I'm not going to do too much talking. I'm going to hold my thoughts and opinions for after the video finished. Without further ado, let's get into it.
EA finally made some good changes to gameplay this year. So we're going to look at 5 big things that have changed from previous Maddens to this year's game. Number 1 is going to be containing mobile quarterbacks. Now this has been a problem in Madden for years. Number 1, they removed escape artists from being a regular ability, which has helped, but also the defensive line is just a lot smarter this year. Even with a Lamar Jackson, if I try to just mindlessly roll out every play, they will get out there and try to make a play on me. Keep in mind, I'm not even containing the defense right now. This is just a regular 4-man rush, but now they're more aware of what I'm doing and they try to stop me. And even if I try to go up the middle, while sometimes a running lane can be there as it should, you can see that it's not easy play to play. They definitely buckle down and shed their blocks to keep me from getting there. Now every once in a while you will break containment, that's football, but it doesn't happen every single play. Now if you actually use contains on the play, it's even better now because they don't even bother worrying about the pass rush. All they worry about is making sure you do not get outside the pocket. And even with the guy as fast as Lamar Jackson, it's just not there. Again, up the middle sometimes is going to be available to you depending on what the defensive line is doing, and that's okay. But from play to play, you can't just mindlessly roll out every single time. Number 2, drift logic for zone defense. Now we're going to spend a lot of time on this because this is one of the biggest changes in the game, and we're going to start with crossing routes. A lot of people are saying crossing routes are still broken. You could still throw them every play. The defense still does not do anything about them, and that's just simply not true at all. Now on defense, we're running just a stock cover 3, no adjustments, nothing special, and we're going to set our offense up like this. Now in years past, this crossing route would get all the way to the sideline pretty much every time and get underneath the zone because he would drift too far back, and it'd be an easy completion. Well, number 1, the pass rush is way better this year right off the bat. So one big key is you don't even have time every single play for this to cross the entire field, but even if you do, you can see the defender's right there. He's not drifting back into nowhere. He's in perfect position to make a pick. And again, with the pass rush being good, you might not even always have the time to make these throws like you could in years past, but even if you do, you can click onto that cornerback, get a pick because he's where he's supposed to be finally. Now we're going to the replay because I already know what people are going to say. I've been doing this long enough. They're going to stop it right here and say, well, look, Mike Evans is wide open. He's right here. The defense is still broken. Look at all of this area around him. That's what people do. They watch the video and they say, look, this guy's open right there. But this is the reality when you're actually playing the game and not watching a video. Now, yes, there are holes in zones. That's how zone defense works. There's going to be windows to make throws. But if you try to throw this is what happens. It gets picked off this year. Now, it might look wide open for a split second, but what you have to realize is once the ball's in the air, the defense is actually allowed to move. They're not just standing still and letting you catch it. So even though he looks open, when you throw it, this is the reality of it. It's still going to get intercepted. Now, that's not to say that you can't perfectly fit this ball into this window sometimes, like right here, but that is still a tight throw, and you don't want to live like that down to down. He could have easily got picked there. He could have easily dropped the ball. And again, right there, we try it right on the next play, and once again, it's intercepted. Now, we're going to continue on with the other important things you need to know in this video, but really quickly, let's hear a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is now, even if we go and put the tight end on a streak here, this was another thing that used to work because the outside cornerback would worry about this streak, and now he doesn't. And again, there's the pass rush. So even if you could get the guy open, from play to play, you're not guaranteed the time to get it off. But if you are, look, the cornerback is still going to be where he's supposed to be because that tight end streak is not his responsibility. It's the safety's responsibility. But in past Maddens, that cornerback would drift to the seam because the tight end streak would somehow confuse him. He no longer does that. And keep in mind, this is a Dory Jackson. I believe he's a 79 overall. So it's not like we got Jalen Ramsey out here. He is an average cornerback and he's staying where he's supposed to. Now, if we put the tight end on the outside like that, we can get him open. But look, once again, there's the pass rush. It's not guaranteed because they're not giving you all day to pass. But if you can buy the time, this will open up the sideline because now the cornerback does have to respect the streak, and you do have a tight window where you could fit it in, but you can still make an adjustment to shut this down. You can go to your coaching adjustments by pressing the R3 button. You can go to your zone drops for curl flats, and you can drop them to 25 or 30 yards, and this will help even in this route combo. If you motion the tight end out, now the curl flat's going to drift further back as well. Now it's going to leave the flats open, but you're going to be able to get back and defend the crosser. So even with a route combo that can open up the crosser, you still have a counter to this. And at the end of the day, that's what football is supposed to be. You're making different adjustments to try to one-up each other and get the win. Now let's look at PA crossers, another very popular play that people like to use. So again, this crossing route, while just a little bit different, it's the same thing. It might look open. It's not open this year. Now you might say, well, the X receiver is going to cook his guy on the outside, but it's okay because the safety exists and he's going to get there to intercept the ball. Again, these things might look open if you freeze the video, but when you actually throw it in a game, it's not open. Now maybe we could hit Y, but again, every play is not guaranteed with the pass rush this year, but we might be able to fit this in. We actually can fit it in, and that's okay. There's going to be holes in zone, but if you play this game even a little bit seriously, you're probably using somebody on defense to help out, and that would be the route you would want to take. You would drift back with Y, take him, and the other deep zones will take the other deep routes. And if you're worried about the tight end getting wide open underneath, well, then you could just shade your defense down. Simple adjustments to stop the tight end, and then the deep zones and your user take care of everything else. Now, if you try to throw to the tight end, shading the defense will get him covered up and you'll get a pick. Same applies to corner routes. This popular flood concept has worked for years with the corner getting underneath the cover 3 zone on the outside. Not anymore because he stays where he's supposed to. You can click on and make the play. Here's another version of this out of a different bunch set. Again, you can see that the cornerback is where he's supposed to be. He's not letting the guy get underneath him because he's no longer drifting back into nowhere. And we're going to go in real time to the menu here so you can see we're on all pro. We're not even on all Madden. We're on standard online settings. We can go into the sliders here. Every slider is still on 50. It's all default, just because I know there's always a person or two out there that might try to suggest the difficulty or the sliders. Nope, this is all standard and the defense is playing well. Number 3, popular one-play touchdowns. PA boot over out of bunch tight end. This is one of the most famous one-play touchdowns, mainly against a cover 3, and this is how you would set it up last year. Now, by blocking the tight end, that's going to help us roll out a little bit, but even with that, you could see the pass rush is going to not let us really be able to just stop, set our feet, and throw, but the defenders are back there and defending it as they're supposed to. Even though we've got an extra guy blocking, the pass rush is still on us. Even if we try to stand just tall in the pocket, with the pass rush this year, it's very rarely going to allow you time for that deep post to get wide open. And then if you just simply QB contain, even with the tight end blocking, you're not getting outside the pocket to make this throw. But even if you can get outside the pocket this year, the defense is going to play this a lot better and not allow him to just run wide open. Now, I do think they could even make this play a little bit better than it does. This is definitely not perfect, but it's good enough to get the stop. Number 4, man defense. They improved man defense too, and this year the man defense is going to win a lot of the time. Sometimes the receiver is going to win as well. That's just how it works when you're man to man. But let's look at the crossing route, something that some people are saying is still overpowered and can't be stopped. We've got T. Higgins here, a good receiver, and he's being locked up by a cornerback that doesn't have crazy high ratings. I don't even think the cornerback is rated as good as T. Higgins is, and you see we've got pass rush as well, which is also making it tough. Now right here, we see against a two-man under, Tyler Boyd does beat his man, but the safety is there to make the play. So even in a two-man under situation, the safeties are making plays. Here's a cover 1. Again, the safety almost makes a play on that as well, but we are beating the man because we have Tyler Boyd, who's a good receiver, but then right here, he's not beating him. He's getting locked down by the corner. So sometimes the receiver wins and sometimes the corner wins, and you can't get any more fair than that. And see here, if we throw it again, he's bagged once again. You can't really get more fair higher than that in this game, and we're not even clicking on yet. If we actually click onto this, then we can actually get a pick. The CPU is not usually going to go for the pick. You need to usually click on yourself to make it happen, but if you do, you're going to be in good shape. Here are slant routes. You can see both of the slant routes are pretty locked up right there. Usually slants dominate man. Right here, they're playing good again, but we get a pick, and that's fine. That's a real life concept. You're trying to run a pick to get a guy free, but you'll see that both of them were covered very well until the pick happened, which in the past was not the case. Man defense actually does play really solid this year. Number 5, hard flats. Now, for some reason, hard flats have just never been consistent in Madden. They would drift too far back or drift too far to the inside, but this year, they actually stay where they're supposed to. So if you throw it into the flat area, they're going to break the pass up, or they're going to make a quick tackle, or they jump it like this for a pick 6. And this is Christian Fulton, 77 overall, average cornerback. You don't need Jalen Ramsey out there to make this play. Again, when you shade your defense down and put hard flats on the field, they're going to be there to make a play. They're not going to let you get those easy 3, 4, or 5 yards in the flat. Now, yes, that's going to open up stuff behind them like this. If you shade your defense down, you're going to leave the stuff open behind the cornerback, but that's the cat and mouse game. You have to understand where the weaknesses are. But if they mindlessly try to throw it into the hard flat every play and you're prepared, you're going to stop them now. Now, if you want to know about some more big changes that are
Alright guys, let me get my general thoughts and opinions on this. I am so glad that they are being able to stop the crossing routes, because even though crossing routes was my favorite thing to do in Madden 22 and past Maddens, it's still good to see the defense improve and be able to be in the same spots. I also like what he said when I've seen plenty of videos of people picking apart the Madden trailers and stuff and saying this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. When you actually play it, you're not picking it apart like that. You're playing the game, you're having fun. You know, you could say, "Oh man, Madden's the same, it sucks," but you still play it. There's something to it that lets you still play it, you know? Even if it was a competition, 2K, more than likely a lot of people are still playing Madden. I mean, I'm just being 100% with you. But I do like the changes that they did do. I'm not really a guy that focuses on defense that much. I focus on offense mostly, but I do like the changes they have done. And hey, like I said, Madden 23 is Madden 23 year this year in my opinion. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that video and my reaction to this video. Love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.